This K Black Boxing, and I'm here with another video, man. You guys need to just stop hating on Adonis Superman Stevenson. Man, that guy, man, he's the crown de la crown. He's the best light heavyweight I've ever seen. Man, that guy holds that WBC belt with with prestige. If you don't like Adonis Stevenson or the moves he's making, you just a flat out hater. Yeah, man. I'm the type of individual, if you talk about Adonis Stevenson, man, I'm just going to read all your videos. I'm going to write paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs about Adonis Stevenson and telling you in it and informing you guys the reason why he's the best ever. He's the number one pound for pound. Andre Ward, please, he shouldn't be there. It should be Adonis Stevenson. Man, now he's not one of the best boxers I've ever seen. He is the best boxer I ever seen. Adonis Superman Stevenson. After he knocked off Fonfora in his last match, he put on a crown as well as that robe. You know why? Because he's telling you all he is the king. And yes, he is the king. Andre Ward don't want no smoke with Adonis Stevenson. Listen, it's two different. There was two different caliber of fighters. Yeah, he might beat Kovalev, but so what? Adonis Stevenson would have put Kovalev to sleep even sooner. It wouldn't have to be a rematch. It wouldn't be controversial at all. Adonis Stevenson would have blew through Sergey Kovalev. That's just the truth, man. I don't understand why you guys hate on him so much. Well, guess what? I'm going to defend him with all my heart. I'm going to defend him like I actually know him. Like I grew up with him, like I went to school with him. Damn right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be his number one fanboy. You heard it from me first. Adonis Stevenson is just the best, man. Every time he fights, it wasn't his fault that the Kovalev fight couldn't get made, or the Beehive fight, or even the fight with Joe Smith Jr. He would have beat all those guys anyway. What's the point of fighting those guys when he can fight people like Carpensy and Fonfora 2 times and, things like that. That's what the type of guy Adonis Stevenson is. He fight the best. Those guys are on his resume is way better than anybody in the light heavyweight division. Adonis Stevenson, man, I'm telling you. Adonis Superman Stevenson, get used to it. He is the best. He's number one pound for pound. If you think different, you don't know shit about boxing. And of course, I am fucking joking. Right out the gate, man. Adonis Stevenson, man, is an individual I believe is at the end of his leash, man. And I say that because as the brother Dream Tracing Boxing said in his video, he put up a clip of Brian Kenny basically saying that he believed Andre Ward is the king of the light heavyweight division, and Adonis Stevenson once was, because he's a WBC champion as well as holds the lineal title, okay? But he said it comes to times when you actually have to defend it against top opposition. He haven't done it, which is true, man. That's just facts. And many people probably are surprised that they said it on the PBC telecast, which is the brand that Adonis Stevenson fight for. But the reason why they said it, is because they tired of the shenanigans. They tired of trying to defend it. This man had been having the belt for 4 years now, and you can look at his resume from him getting the title up until now that he really haven't fought stellar opposition. We can blame whoever we want to blame with certain fights not getting made, but if you look at it, the reality of it, Adonis Stevenson versus Kovalev, Adonis Stevenson versus Beehive, Adonis Stevenson versus him and Alita Everest ain't fucking even negotiated, not to my knowledge. And it seems like if he don't want to fight him anyway, or even a potential fight with him and Joe Smith Jr. Only thing I got to say, only thing, no matter who you blame for which, for those fights not coming to fruition, there's only one thing that remained consistent, and everybody I just named, and it's Adonis Stevenson. So you can't tell me that. You can say maybe once or twice, but you can't tell me that this man, went to negotiations or possible negotiations with all these guys, and fights didn't get made for one reason or another. Like I said in a previous video about him and Ward, although I would like to see the fight, but I don't think the fight's going to happen because something's going to happen in negotiation, man. It is what it is. They ain't going to be able to put their pride to the side or egos to the side, you know what I mean? So the fight probably won't happen. But, Adonis Stevenson has been in the light heavyweight division way longer than Andre Ward. And Ward already have done more. And it's sad that Andre Ward has been in a shorter period of time, and he already has fought the best person in the division, as many people may say, and Sergey Kovalev not once but twice, like I said, and he got all those titles. And even Sullivan Barrera, I know people like, well, Sullivan Barrera was undefeated, Cuban background, excellent amateur career, you know what I mean? So although he didn't have as many pro fights as Andre Ward, many people thought he was ready, you know what I mean? And you can see now, even though he took an L against Andre Ward, but you can see what he's been doing. He just won last night against a good contender and Joe Smith Jr. So this is how things go, man. People can defend it like they want to. There's nothing wrong with liking Adonis Stevenson if that's what people like. You know what I mean? If you truly are a fan, but and there's no attack on Adonis Stevenson either, man, because we all was backing Adonis Stevenson and saying that it wasn't his fault, and the follow up between him and Kovalev. You know what I mean? We know that Kathy Duver, his promoter, Kovalev's promoter, was basically saying that they didn't want to go into a purse bid because they know PBC and our Adonis Stevenson team was going to win a purse bid, which was going to basically just the fight would have been on Showtime. And since Kovalev had a contract with HBO, they couldn't break their contract. That's what they was basically saying. And I guess I didn't think it was big enough to be like do a dual HBO Showtime type of showing to get a undisputed champion. So the fight didn't happen. So like I said, we went to bat for Adonis Stevenson when people were trying to attack him when Kovalev was saying all that racist shit and people thought it was cool. So we all backed him, but at the same time, I think with logic, and the people that I listen to over here on YouTube think with logic as well, man. Just because we like a particular fighter, that don't mean we gonna put up with this bullshit. You see, that's the difference between a fan and a fanboy. See, a fan can like his fighter, but once his fighter start doing fuck shit, bullshit, you're gonna call him out on it. It is what it is. A fanboy not. A fanboy is gonna back it up, make video after video after video. The reason why he's backing the bullshit up, and go into everybody comment section and write paragraph upon paragraph upon paragraphs on the reason why he liked that particular fighter or loved that particular fighter, and nothing is that fighter's fault. Come on, man, get the fuck out of here, man. It don't work like that. It's no coincidence that Brian Kenny basically called out Adonis Stevenson for his bullshit, and it's no coincidence that a young fighter in Marcus Brown who fought last night, who fight also under the PBC umbrella, get the knockout, and guess who he called out? Adonis Stevenson. So, in my opinion, this is what's going on. They're basically gonna put Adonis Stevenson in a position that, you know what, if you don't fight quality opposition or fight fighters that we want you to fight willingly, we're gonna force you to do it. And if you deny both, willingly to do it or being forced to do it, but what they're gonna do is, remove their strap from away from you. They're gonna put you in a position that you're no longer gonna have that title. People are gunning for Adonis Stevenson, believe it or not. You know what I mean? You've seen Marcus Brown, undefeated fighter as well. The Elite Alvarez definitely been one a piece of him. It's mandatory, been mandatory for shit. I don't know, a couple years now. Shit. So, um, like I said, man, he's already getting up in age. It's not so. It's not more that if he don't get the ball rolling right now, he never will. So I know you trying to wear that crown and wear the robe as if it's like you royalty. But once you get that crown removed, man, what you gonna do? And like I said in the previous video, the video I made last night, man, you got to be careful. You're gonna end up fighting. He's gonna end up fighting somebody. He gonna think it's easy, and it's gonna be harder than you think, and he might lose the damn fight against a nobody. Instead of fighting against quality opposition, man. Because if you fight quality opposition and you lose, we gonna say, hey, you fought Andre Ward. You know what I mean? Or you fought one of the up and comers, man. Whether it's Sullivan Barrera or Marcus Brown, who just recently called you out, or even Kovalev. You know what I mean? It's just what it is, man. It's many other, and it's many other light heavyweights, man. The light heavyweight, it seems as if it is really really turning up, man. And we got some good quality fighters in the division. We just want to see some undisputed, man, between Wood and Adonis Stevenson. Both of them, like I said, got to put their pride to the side and try to make the fight, man. But even if the fight don't happen, shit, he can still fight. Like I said, Sullivan Barrera and Marcus Brown and many other fighters, man. And Andre Ward can too. But the reason why we not knocking Andre Ward because shit, Andre Ward has fought quality opposition time after time after time, man. I mean, Adonis Stevenson after Chad Dawson really haven't did shit. You know what I mean? So if you don't, and if you continue in this manner, then hey, like I said, somebody's gonna have that strap real soon. Believe it or not. A champion can't behave in this manner, man. And also, I got a question for everybody to listen to me, man. You can leave a comment in the comment section or even make a video about it. Who do you think is the worst champion in a Al Heyman stable? Or a fighter that worked with Al Heyman. Because fighters that's not really signed with Al Heyman or not advised by Al Heyman, but they still work with him. So who do you believe is the worst champion that either work with Al Heyman or is under Al Heyman banner and fight for PBC? In my opinion, to be totally honest, it's got to be Adonis Stevenson, man. I know people not gonna like it, but facts is facts. So this K Black Boxing. I'm signing off. Like, comment, subscribe.